This is the Hub on Hollywood, an iHeartRadio podcast. I am your co-host, James Rojas.
I'm the other co-host, Jamie Blanco.
On this week's episode, it's been a wicked busy time at the movie theaters across the country. We have some spoiler and non-spoiler talk about Wicked, Gladiator 2, and Moana 2. We also have a list of the most popular movie stars of 2024. An extremely popular star who went unnoticed in Boston. Sounds surprising and shocking, but it happened. And a problem that AMC theaters are experiencing, not only AMC, but apparently some beloved theaters in our own neighborhoods also experiencing, which is something people are comparing to a horror film. But first, Jamie, one, it's great to see you here in person.
Yeah, I know. Woohoo!
Yay.
Hub on Hollywood in person.
We had to meet up in person just to celebrate a milestone that we've been crawling to for the past, 5 years or so?
Don't tell them how long.
Don't tell them for how long. But yeah, with the milestone of 300 subscribers.
Woo! That's right, party time.
Yeah.
I should have brought like a party popper or
We
something
would have been kicked
like
out of the
that.
iHeart studios
Yeah,
if we had
might
done
have
that.
been. I can't make a mess
fire
here, but-
alarm would have gone off. No, but that's really exciting. I know we've both been, going at this for literal years. Countless hours put into the podcast, both for on YouTube, but also on every major podcasting streaming service. But it's really great to celebrate and to acknowledge those who do watch and listen. All that stuff. Very exciting.
Yeah, thank you guys so very much. If you haven't already, subscribe below. Help us keep the momentum going so that we can bring you bigger stars, bigger interviews, and we can just continue to have fun because the ideas that we come up with here on the Hub on Hollywood, I mean, we should be people's agents, honestly.
We should run these studios.
We could change Hollywood entirely. So great work to you, 300 subscribers. Let's get to 400, 500, 1,000. Start kicking some butt and taking names. And we got plenty to talk about
Absolutely.
today.
A lot of great stuff. As you know, we've been talking about it on the Hub on Hollywood. Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Tom Holland, they basically live in Boston now. I think they can consider themselves true Bostonians for how long they've been here. They stop at all the coffee shops, local, iconic ones. And, it feels like everybody knows they're here. Everybody recognizes their face. But apparently not, because a local news station, WCVB, they were doing a story about people walking around the Common, around the Boston
like the
Common, holiday feeling.
Out.
And, they film people, walking about and,
just some B-roll, some standard,
Yeah, and it wasn't until some eagle-eyed viewers at home noticed that they actually captured one of the most famous people in the world on camera, and then it was brought to their attention. But they caught Zendaya walking with her arms crossed with her mom in the Common, and people were going on social media pretty much trolling WCVB, saying, how could you have not recognized Zendaya of all people? And so a lot of people had their fun. They pointed it out and made fun of WCVB. And do you think you'd be able to spot?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The cameraman wasn't phased. The anchors weren't phased.
No.
It wasn't until, some younger people. I think it's more of it's sort of an age
generational thing.
Generational thing, perhaps.
Yeah.
But you've got a buddy over there at WCVB. Was it Matt Reed?
Matt Reed,
Have you been giving him,
so I did see
some tough love?
I did see him post, but he did also, talk about how, I guess it was just missed by everybody else in the newsroom.
Well, you know what? Also, Zendaya is such a chill person in real life. And she just walks around. She goes to all the shops, like you said, and she's not wearing makeup.
She's not wearing a gown, a $20,000 golden gown.
Because normally when you think Zendaya, you think of her on the red carpet, with the hair done and the makeup. But, when she's walking around, she's just like anybody else.
She's just like
she's
us.
Super chill, looks like anyone else, walking with her mom, enjoying the Common just like all of us. So I love it. And I love that for her because we had been talking before about how they had been getting a little bit harassed. And, look, Tom and Z, they just need their space. They're just here to enjoy the holidays and in Boston, like anyone else. It's so beautiful here. A stroll along the common. So I love it for her. Actually, I absolutely love it for her. And we get to troll our buddies over at WCVB.
No, it's funny too. And you mentioned how we've recently talked about people sneaking photos or pictures of them while they're eating croissants or whatever. And this morning I actually saw a video where somebody was, I guess, Tom, Zendaya, and Zendaya's mom were at, I'm not sure if it was Tate Bakery, but some cafe, and somebody kind of passing their phone. And you see, like, Tom's back is facing like where the person's filming, and Zendaya's like to his left. But I think Tom really does have spidey sense, because as the person's walking by, he's doing like a little pan. Like Tom immediately like looks back at the camera. It's like an actual spidey sense moment for Tom Holland.
Right.
But yeah, so we love to see them here. Apparently, they were not bothered at the cafe in that video. Good. But again, it's one of those things where like these are people also, and I know people are gonna shoot video, take pictures, but it's still like kind of I don't know if cringe is the right word, but kind of like, oh, you feel a little sad for these millionaires.
Chill out, people. Chill out. So Zendaya, Robert Pattinson in town shooting the drama. Background work on that has wrapped, so no more background opportunities on that. Boston Casting had been handling that. But the next time that there is another big film in town where they're looking for folks, we'll be sure to bring that to you so that you can get in the movies, because that's what we like to do here on the Hub on Hollywood also. And Tom, Z, and Robert Pattinson are all going to be in another big movie together, which we mentioned before.
Yeah. With Christopher Nolan.
Exactly.
Charlize Theron's going to be in it.
Oh, my gosh.
Matt Damon's in it. The list just
goes on and on.
Christopher Nolan can get anybody who he wants in a movie, even those who've passed away already. He's like, I want Kirk Douglas in this film, and they're going to put him in there.
He can do anything nowadays.
Yeah. So. Oh, that's funny. Well, again, thanks, Tom. Thanks, Zendaya. Thanks, Robert. If you ever want to be on the Hub on Hollywood, you know how to reach us. Talk to our people. We'll schedule something.
HubOnHollywood.com.
There we go. And speaking of stars that have graced us with their presence and their talents, let's talk about the most popular stars of 2024.
Okay.
This is a ranking that was determined with data from IMDb Pro, the movie meter and star meter rankings.
You mean data?
Data. What did I say?
You said data.
Data and data is the same. It's the same. Tomato, tomato.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right.
But so we have the list, and we'll go from 10 to number 1, and I will say that there are a couple. I know most of these people, but a couple of them they're just appearing on my radar. But we can start with number 10. The most popular star of 2024 is Rebecca Ferguson of Dune 1 and Part 2. And also the Mission Impossible movies. Do you know Rebecca?
Rebecca, is that
Let me show you a picture of Rebecca. Rebecca,
the mom, right?
Yeah,
the mom from Dune. Yes,
Timothy Chalamet's mom, Chalamama.
See,
this is what you pay for.
This is the quality.
On the Hub on Hollywood.
This is what your $0 will bring you.
Absolutely.
The Shalamama, she's amazing. I love her in projects that she's been in before. She's so intense. I love her face. I love her acting. Mission Impossible also, right?
Yeah, Mission Impossible. The last movie was great. She's been in at least 4 of the past Mission Impossible movies. We will see whether she's in the next one, because I don't want to spoil anything.
Do we know what number we're on with Mission Impossible? Is it like 8 or 9?
It's Mission Impossible Last Reckoning. So this could be the last Mission Impossible movie.
To be followed by, seriously,
this is the last one now. Yeah. We want to keep testing Tom Cruise's
mega ultra
limits.
last. Yeah.
Number 9, most popular of 2024, Daphne Keane. You know her from the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, the Logan films. She's in a bunch of other stuff, but those are her most 2 biggest breakout notable roles.
An intense child star.
Crazy how she was in Logan. I forget what year Logan was released, but she was a little child, and now she's a full adult with claws and clawing people to death continually.
She was one of the best parts of Deadpool, honestly. She kind of grounded it.
They could have used more. They could have used more of her. I feel like they brought her in for a little emotional gut punch, and then
a little
they kind of moved
emotional
on.
weight. Yeah,
we need more Daphne Keane. We need a spinoff.
Sure.
Project X spinoff or whatever her character was. Number 8, we have Eve Hewson. This one, I am not too familiar with this person's work, but she was in a movie this year called Flora and Son. It's getting really, really good reviews where she plays the mother, I believe, of a child who is trying to break out musically. That's the vaguest of the plot details.
My child's always trying to break out musically, just to throw that in there.
It'll be Jamie and Son.
Yeah.
She's also stars in Bad Sisters, a popular series as well. Jamie, are you a fan of Bridgerton?
I am.
Do you know who Nicola Coughlan is? She is.
Yeah.
That's who she is.
Yes, though the name of her character escapes me. The whole last season was, about her and Colin.
Isn't she like the ghostwriter? She's like the secret writer. I don't think that's a spoiler.
No, it's not a spoiler at this point, unless you've never seen the show.
Yeah.
But yes, she is Madam. Oh gosh.
Madam Web.
No. Much
Madame
better
Tussauds.
than Madam. Yeah, one of those. No, she's Lady. Gosh, come on, I forgot. Anyways, she's amazing, and I love her attitude. I love everything about her, and the power, and the strength, and the sass that she's bringing.
Isn't she also in Euphoria? Is she in Euphoria?
I don't know if she's.
Or is that someone else?
That might be someone else.
Okay. Euphoria.
Euphoria.
There
Just
we go.
go with it. Just going with it.
Let's see. We have a number 6. One of my favorites of this year. Go ahead.
Lady Whistledown.
That's what I said.
All right, there we
Lady
go.
Whistledown. Number 6. Mr. Barry Keoghan. He has had a fantastic couple years. Of course, most notably, he was in the freaky movie. What's it called? Where he licks the bathtub?
Yeah,
Saltburn.
Saltburn. That's the only thing the top thing you remember from Saltburn is
that's
what he did.
ingrained in many people's brains.
The assault of the bathtub.
That poor bathtub. Justice for bathtub. No one talks about it. But Barry Keoghan, fantastic year. He was also in The Marvels. He was in the movie with Colin Farrell. What's the one? I know the name. It was one of my favorite movies of last year. The the Irish movie, the one where what's it called? It's a great movie. Great movie. We'll look it up. We'll put it right here.
My internet's not working.
Your internet's not working.
Otherwise, I'd look it up.
Let's see. Okay, number 5.
Glenn Powell.
Mr. Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell of Twisters fame. He also recently starred alongside Sydney Sweeney, who's on this list as well, in a Netflix film. He is like sort of the it guy of the year. Very handsome, sort of the classic heartthrob of 2024, but also great emotional range. So yeah, I'm actually surprised he's not higher on this list of the sort of most popular stars of 2024. I would definitely rank him at like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But he's number 5 on this list. Did you enjoy him in Twister?
Twisters was great, and
Twisters.
he was great in it. Again, he just exudes chemistry or character or charm. He's one of those actors that he's also in a movie on Netflix where he plays a hitman. I think it's called Hitman.
Yeah.
Pretty
straightforward.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. And so he just has that charisma, natural charisma. So very glad that he's on this list because it's well deserved. We will go back to Glenn Powell in a potential, hopeful role in the future in a minute. But Banshees of Inisherin for that Barry Keoghan movie, one of my favorites of the past 5 years. Number 4, we have Eiza Gonzalez. She was in Godzilla vs. Kong, I Care a Lot, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare with... What's his name? All these names are blanking. I'm blanking. I need more coffee.
Okay.
The guy who plays Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
The guy who plays... Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, a lot of people have played Superman.
The
Is
latest
it
Superman,
the newest guy?
the buff guy.
Sort of.
Not the new one that's being made currently. The DC Superman.
Yeah.
I know.
The one who makes computers and who also played the We're doing so well today, guys.
This is why you subscribe.
This is the Hub on Hollywood.
This is why you
here.
subscribe to the Hub on Hollywood. Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill.
I thought you meant the guy that was like the
new one.
New.
Do you know who that one is too?
No, I don't know the new guy.
Yeah.
But Henry Cavill.
Yeah, but the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, Henry Cavill is in that movie, and I hear that is a fun movie.
I Care a Lot, also filmed here in New England, so expecting great things from her. Speaking of the classically beautiful, just like Glenn Powell, just like Henry Cavill, so is Isa Gonzalez.
All right, number 3, she is having a big breakout year. She's been around for a while, but big resurgence of popularity because of her role in The Penguin. I believe she plays Catwoman, and that is Kristen Milioti. Excuse me. She's in The Penguin, Palm Springs with Andy Samberg, which is a fun movie, kind of like a Groundhog Day version movie, and also the show Fargo. So, go Kristen. Number 2, Ella Purnell. She having a big breakout role in the Fallout series on HBO Max. Fallout. Love that show. Ella Purnell, fantastic in that as well. So, yeah. Very popular.
Big, beautiful eyes.
Big, beautiful eyes. Speaking about big, beautiful somethings, number 1.
Oh, James.
Sorry.
It's true, though.
It was a layup. It was a layup.
Yeah.
Number 1, the most popular star of 2024 is...
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney.
And there's no surprise there. Yes, beautiful all around. And in so many projects.
Madam Web. The Oscar-nominated Madam Web.
She's the one who is in Euphoria.
She's in Euphoria. She's also in Anyone But You with Glenn Powell.
Right.
Again, just raw chemistry and charisma from both of these characters. She also did a very good role as guest host of SNL this past year. So she's been having a breakout couple years. So Sydney Sweeney, number 1. Are you surprised that who would you put on this top 10 list for your most popular movie star actor of this year?
My most popular, I would put Iñaki Godoy on that list.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I think that, but even though One Piece live action came out sort of last year.
People are so buzzing about
They're still
him.
buzzing about it. They're filming it
kid.
right now. So maybe he'll be on the list next year when season 2 comes out. But that's definitely someone I think deserves to be on the list. I would put Glenn Powell higher, like I said. But, pretty decent. What about you? Anyone missing?
I am gushing over Hugh Grant again.
Oh,
I love Hugh Grant. If you would have asked, like, 9-year-old James in the 90s, like, hey, would you adore Hugh Grant? I would be like, what? If you ask James of now, sitting in this booth, if I would adore Hugh Grant, I'd say yeah, because he's amazing. Of course, his whole career trajectory, I think, pivoted when he was the villain in Paddington 2. And then he took that fun, whimsical villainy to a whole another level, cranked it to 11 with his performance in Heretic, where he plays like this religious zealot who is so creepy, so scary, and he does so well. So Hugh Grant having a fantastic kind of a third act of his acting career. Yeah. So I'd put Hugh Grant on this list.
I thought you were going to say Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage is good. I mean, I really do like Nicolas Cage. Don't get me wrong, but he's been around the block for a while. He's been around the block for a while.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay.
Speaking about Glenn Powell, let's wrap up this bow with this news that apparently, he's so hot right now that you would think any project, literally and figuratively, he's so hot right now that you would imagine any movie studio would love to greenlight a project that he wants to do. However, it's not that easy, not even for the powerful Glenn Powell, because for years he's been wanting to star in a movie around a beloved cartoon that aired in the 90s, Captain Planet.
I can't believe
And the Planeteers.
This blew my mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, Captain Planet?
Yeah.
Talking about fighting global warming, fighting that heat.
We need him now more than ever.
I know, right?
We need this, actually.
But wait, but here's my problem with that.
Yeah.
Glenn Powell, he's got that chiseled jaw and that beautiful hair.
Yeah.
I can't picture him being blue, and correct me if I'm wrong, does Captain Planet have hair?
He does.
Oh, yeah, he's got like that square.
He could, oh my God.
Okay,
he could totally rock
You're
this.
right. He does have a chiseled jaw.
He could totally rock
and
this.
And the hair swoop.
Look at this.
It's just got to be like square green
my God.
hair.
This is perfect casting.
I guess you know what? You're right. I didn't remember Captain Planet being that ripped.
He is
okay.
ripped.
What the heck?
Oh, no, there's a Captain Pollution. I didn't know there's a Captain Pollution.
God.
That's his alter ego or his nemesis.
Henry Cavill can be Captain Pollution. Glenn Powell will be Captain Planet.
It writes itself. Yeah.
This is amazing. We got to get in on this.
So apparently Powell, he has been wanting to make this a reality for years. However, the problem for Powell is that there is no amount of enthusiasm that can make the studio part with their money to invest in a Captain Planet movie.
Aww.
Wow, that's crazy. Do you remember all the Captain Planet kids, like what their powers were?
Earth.
Fire.
Heart.
Heart was like the worst.
Yeah.
What were
Wind.
they? Wind. Did we say water?
They're like elementals.
Earth, fire, wind, water, and heart. What did
Do you remember the theme song?
Captain Planet, he's our hero. He'll bring pollution down to zero. That's all I got. Yeah, oh my God. Imagine that, all the rings. Oh my God, it sells itself. So we're going to start a new campaign for Glenn Powell, Captain Powellland.
We'll workshop it. Workshop it. What do you guys think? What's a good hashtag for Glenn Powell's Captain Planet? We're going to help him with this.
We need Glenn Powell's power of cleanliness now more than ever, Jamie. Not only will he fight climate change, but he'll also fight some nasty, dirty, gross movie theaters that are plaguing America.
Yeah.
Specifically, there's an AMC, and I love AMC. I'm an AMC A-list. I want AMC to succeed.
Yes.
And so this comes from a place.
Don't cancel our membership.
No, don't cancel membership, and please, sponsor us. But I want AMC to succeed, and so I don't do this story, report on this story with love or passion. But Danbury, Connecticut, AMC, the conditions were so awful that it made the news. Wow. Apparently, there are some people, some patrons, also A-list members, who went to the AMC in Danbury, and they felt they were in a horror movie because not only was trash piling up like near the restrooms, but also piling up where they make the food. It's spilling over to the ground. The inside the movie theater, there's popcorn. We expect things to be dirty, but no one's cleaning it. So you have that popcorn buildup, that sticky buildup, that soda pop buildup, and everything else that a movie theater entails. And not only that, you have understaffed schedules or theaters, so much so that hot food wasn't being prepared. And when I heard the story, Jamie, it struck a chord with me, a personal chord with me.
Deep in his heart.
Because this happened to me twice. So get this.
Oh, God.
So the AMC, I don't want to, I won't shout out the local AMC, but you know who you are. But the local AMC that I go to, the past 2 times I've gone, I went there once, and my usual menu. I get the Impossible Nuggets. I get curly fries. I get soda because at the movie theater, I love to pig out. I am proud of that. And so I go to the cashier. I go, 1 Impossible Nuggets, please, and 1 curly fries, please. And they say, oh, sorry, we can't do any hot orders. We have no oil or something. Like they literally couldn't make any hot food and no hot food. So oh my goodness. So I guess I'll have popcorn. So I ordered a small popcorn, but because I'm an A-list member, it automatically upgrades to a big bucket. So I downed an entire bucket of popcorn. I didn't want to. I had to. And so I was like, okay, sure, you can't. It's like the McFlurry machine. It breaks down from time to time. I won't hold it against anybody. However, the second time I went to the AMC, same one. 1 Impossible Nuggets, please, I ask. And they say, oh, I'm so sorry. We don't have anybody to work to operate the frying machine. And I'm like, And they say, do you speak English? And I say, yes. And like, oh yeah, we have no one to work the air frying machine. I'm like, whoa. And so what did I do? Guess what I did?
What did you do? You bought more popcorn?
I bought more popcorn. And then it automatically upgrades to a gigantic popcorn. And I ate too much popcorn. Not something I did not want to do.
Did you get a tummy ache?
I did. It was not good. But the story is, the moral of the story is these AMC theaters, they are apparently struggling because there's either not enough people to work these shifts, and because of that, the food quality, the food in general, suffers. The hygiene, the cleanliness of the facility, that suffers. That makes people not want to go to the movie theater, and it creates this spiraling effect where like, oh, they're not taking good care of it. We're not going to go. Oh, no one's going. We can't afford to pay, and so like this isn't good.
No, it's not good. Maybe they should pay a little more.
Maybe they should pay a little more. AMC right now, they're going through this campaign.
Might help.
AMC recently, we talked about they want to expand the movie theater screens. They want to, improve on the sound system. They want to make all these physical improvements, and sounds good. But if you're doing that, why don't you use that same money and direct it towards some jobs, some positions where people want to go in there and work?
Can I add to these stories of dismay?
Please do.
Because right now, James, right this second, my local AMC theater, which is, up north, is closed. It's just completely shut down.
Any warning? Any advance notice?
No advance notice, no warning. But apparently the movie Ratatouille was playing out in real life.
Oh, goodness.
And they had a major rat problem. And, this is a theater that I go to every week.
Yeah.
Okay, and in their defense, I have never seen a rat.
Okay.
But apparently other people have.
Yeah.
Not just running around the theaters, but also in the food prep areas.
Yeah.
Okay, so all I want in my Impossible Nuggets, I don't know what's in them,
I don't want
but
any
I know
real
what
meat.
I don't want.
I don't want any real meat, specifically any real rat meat in there.
Yeah, so it's disheartening.
Yeah.
Come on, AMC.
Yeah, we want you to succeed. We want you to do better. And apparently, health inspectors, they were sent to the Danbury one in Connecticut, and after some cleaning up, whatever, they passed the inspection. But there was a AMC spokesperson who did comment on the situation. They said, quote, "Based on guest photos and accounts, we fell short of providing our guests a proper experience as the theater experienced its second biggest weekend attendance of all time." Really quick, don't brag that you just experienced the second biggest weekend attendance of all time, while also saying we're also cleaning up our mess because it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So a little tip, don't do that. But anyway, we are in close contact with the theater team, and an action plan has been put into place. So they are aware of it.
Yeah.
They're addressing it. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that solves the problem. I feel like we're trauma bonding right now, Jamie.
Yeah,
I feel like this is because I don't want the AMC near me to go under.
No.
Yeah.
I get my Tuesday. I'm there almost every Tuesday. I get my $5 movie Tuesdays or whatever, and I take my kids there. What am I going to do this week? Come on, rats? Really? Come on.
Oh, rats.
No. So. Yes, do better, AMC. You can do it. We love movies.
Better.
I don't want to go to the Cinemark.
No.
Because we have a Cinemark, and any theater is good.
Support your local theater,
whichever your local theater
chain it is. Independent chain.
But Cinemark doesn't have Impossible Nuggets.
No, the Impossible Nuggets are bomb.
That's what brings me in.
Did I turn you in?
You did.
Yeah, it's good.
Did. Yeah, you turned me on to that.
What sauce do you use?
Just ketchup. What do you? Barbecue sauce too.
Barbecue sauce is bomb. I was a big ranch fiend, but then I cut dairy from my diet, so I started going barbecue. At home though, we also have Impossible Nuggets, and we didn't have barbecue sauce. We didn't have anything else, so I used ketchup, and you know what? It blew my mind. Yeah. It's actually really good with ketchup.
Not bad.
No, it's really good. So I may be pivoting to ketchup because that's really good too.
All right. Good.
Goodness. You hear this?
What do you put on your Impossible Nuggets?
Is your theater clean? Is your theater facing any cleanliness issues or troubles? Let us know down below. Comments, follow us. We are at Hub on Hollywood. But as we said in the beginning of the episode, thank you so much for the subscribers. Breaking that 300 mark. I think we can break 400 by the end of this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
Don't see why not.
Absolutely not. James.
So,
again, we're hoping these movie theaters succeed, and it's because of a string of movies recently that they have seen a big boost in success at the box office. And we have Wicked to thank, we have Moana 2 to thank, and we have Gladiator 2 to thank. A Twister's trifecta of movies.
It was a wicked weekend. A wicked Thanksgiving weekend. With all of these movies all at once. There was like nothing to watch, and then all of a sudden, bam, bam.
Yeah. And we talked recently about how, all these animated films that are becoming live action and how it makes no sense that Moana live action is coming out when a Moana 2 is coming out. Whatever that case be, we'll put that to the side. But Moana 2 just came out. I haven't seen it. I've heard mixed things. Moana 1, I think we both agree, is a great movie. Classic.
Iconic.
Really great film. Moana 2, does it live up to expectations or hopes?
James, look, I wanted to like Moana 2 so badly. And I feel like, in part, we do this, right? We do this podcast, we analyze movies and stuff like this. Maybe I went into it with too critical of an eye. Maybe I went into it with too high of expectations. But nay, shouldn't our expectations be high for a sequel to something like Moana?
Yeah.
So I took my son, opening weekend. We were all excited. Oh, and my daughter.
Was it filled?
Yeah, it was completely packed. We got the last seats, and we were so excited. And it was tedious. The pacing, was so slow, so burdensome, so... The pacing was awful. Beginning, middle, and end. The whole movie, I'm like, just get to the next thing. When is something exciting going to happen? Why is this so slow? This is killing me. When is this going to be over? And the music, I don't know if Lin-Manuel Miranda was not. You could absolutely tell that Lin-Manuel Miranda was not a part of this project. None of the music stuck out to me. The soundtrack wasn't there. The emotional beats fell flat. The jokes weren't great. And the plot was acceptable. Yeah. The plot was acceptable, but I did not enjoy this movie. Now, that is to say that maybe I am just a heartless monster. Maybe I am a sea beast.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, because the woman next to me watching Moana was in tears, right? Yeah. She was crying at every little thing that happened, and she was so invested. You're like, I hate people. I just hate people, period.
Yeah.
Great.
Sorry, continue.
He doesn't mean you, of course.
No, we love you, especially if you subscribe to us.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was, so into it and so invested, and I was just like, this just is breaking my heart, but not in the way it's breaking her heart. This is just, I wanted so much more than I got. Yeah. The visuals, absolutely stunning. The way that they animated
the water.
The water and the fights and the journey, the way that it was animated, top of the line, beautiful, gorgeous. The story itself, bland, predictable, tedious, and the pacing was just awful. Music, no. It was a no for me, bro.
Moana 2. They should have called it Molasses 2.
Oh my gosh, it's accurate.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Yeah. So I heard Lin-Manuel was not returning, but the person who who was working underneath Lin for the first film, he's the one that took the reins and did it. But I guess you just need that Manuel sauce to really spice up the lyrics, the music, the melody.
You need that Miranda magic, man.
Was the villain not intricate is the right word, but was the villain as interesting or unique as the first villain in this second one? I've seen the trailers. I don't know who the villain is or what the problem is. Moana's trying to find other tribes.
Right. Yeah. Moana's trying to find other tribes to reconnect her people across all of the ocean. Yeah. And in order to do so, they have to defeat this one dude who separated everyone.
Is he like a pirate?
And they have to lift this island out of the ocean. It's not a pirate. It's like some god monster thing. But it was just so ambiguous and vague, and the ending was kind of predictable. There's also other people that are with her on this journey this time, and none of those characters really popped. It was just, for me, nothing really popped.
Was the chicken back?
The chicken was back.
Okay.
The chicken was back. And frankly, I think I cared more about the chicken than any other character or plot device in this movie. So I felt bad. I wanted to like it more. If you take your kids to it, I think your kids will be okay with it. But my kids were getting restless. They were tired. Like, remember a couple episodes ago, I'm like, I'm going to take my kids to Wicked opening weekend and just piss everyone off by bringing a 9-year-old and a 4-year-old. My 9-year-old and 4-year-old, I did it. I went opening weekend with both of them, and they sat through a 3-hour movie enthralled.
Wow.
The entire time, didn't make a peep, ate all their popcorn, and it was amazing. I took them to Moana 2, and they couldn't sit through it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I heard that if all the music was taken out, and it was just like 60 minutes long, it would have been perfect. Like it would not been perfect, but better.
Yeah, maybe, but the songs too weren't like, I couldn't tell you what any of the music was. It was just, yeah.
So hear me out. So Moana expected to take home around $60 million in its second weekend. Do you think? Is this a big drop off from the? I mean, I don't know if reviews like this. Because I've heard similar reviews as well, saying it's not as great or as good as the first one. Or is this going to make make $1 billion just because it has the name Moana and the Disney train behind it?
I don't know if it's going to make as much as the original. I think it's definitely a precipitous drop off as far as opening weekend numbers go from the original. But yeah, the name alone is going to make them break even at the very least, if not bring in a profit. But I just wish that it was more than that. You know, we've got. I just wish it was more. That's all. That's all.
Do you expect a Moana 3?
They do set that up.
They do.
They do set that up. And as
they're like, we found even more islands.
Yeah, something like that. And just as I'm leaving the theater, I'm like, no. If it's going to be like this, like, just no, please. Yeah. No, thank you.
No Moana.
And again, I feel like a heartless monster saying this.
No,
I wanted to like it.
Many people apparently feel the same way.
Yeah.
So,
but here's one of the emotional beats. I'm sorry, I'm taking our time. But
no.
One of the emotional beats is between her and her little sister. Moana has a little sister in this movie, which is Miniana. I'm definitely not her name, but so like the first 40 minutes of the movie is like her oh my God, I have to say goodbye to my little sister. I'm like, just leave the kid already. Just throw her off the boat.
Oh, God.
Just go already. Like start the movie, start the adventure.
Go Anna.
Go Anna. Yes, you can. So many of these. So in that way, I don't know. I just didn't connect with what they were going for emotionally with this movie, and that could just be a me problem.
How's The Rock?
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? I mean, he cooked up a performance of Maui that was acceptable, but a little bit weird. The dynamic between him and Moana made me like raise an eyebrow.
Interesting.
I'm like, what is?
Are they too comfortable with each other?
Yeah, I'm like, what are they setting up here? What are they setting up here? Like, she's an adult now, but still. I'm like, please don't go this direction.
Yeah.
Please. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, but I feel like they're setting up something romantic there.
Oh God, I did not need to know that at all.
It feels cringy, or maybe that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
But
Well, speaking about The Rock and Moana, we can confirm that he was wearing a bodysuit in those live action photos.
Yeah.
Not only I think did he come out and say it, but also in one photo you actually see the zipper down his back.
That makes sense.
And so The Rock rocking a Maui muscle bodysuit. All right, so do you recommend Moana, or wait till Disney Plus, or don't even watch it on Disney Plus?
Wait till Disney Plus.
Okay.
If your kids are really into it, I'm sure they'll be okay with it. Yeah.
Okay.
But if it's your thing that you love so much, like, go in with tempered expectations. Unfortunately.
What level of expectations should be set for Wicked?
Defy gravity with your expectations, okay? They defied all expectations. And this is what I'm talking about, James, when I say setting your expectations high. Because I think that fans did and should have set their expectations very high.
Mine were low.
For Wicked. Really?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it,
Okay.
but based off the reviews and the ravings,
Exceeded.
Wow.
Exceeded all expectations. Just big. They went big, okay? They went big. The music is fantastic. This is Wicked Part 1.
Yeah.
By the way, which they don't advertise as much. This is Wicked Part 1. It's only half the play.
The I in Wicked is actually a 1, so it's like one kid. Yeah.
So there's definitely going to be a Part 2 for the second half of the production.
Now, was that necessary? Before we get into the details, like, was that necessary to split it into 2 movies?
You know,
because the play is less, including intermission, is less of a runtime than the actual movie, Part 1.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a bold move. Definitely a bold move. But you know what? They made a bold move, and they went hardcore on it. And I am glad that they did, because it needed every minute of that runtime to do what it did. And I think the second half is going to be just as good. But the music, every single song was in there, and the production value was tremendous. Everything was beautiful and gorgeous and sumptuous and detailed, and the singers were just off the charts. And they brought in real Broadway performers. Like, they had real artists, the real singers and dancers in there, and it just made all the difference. So much passion, so much effort, great cinematography and visuals. Everything just went into this, and it paid off with dividends. It was so good. My son, who's 9, has seen it 4 times already, and literally you catch him like at midnight, in the middle of the night, singing at the top of his lungs in his bunk, defying gravity. So, I mean, it's definitely made an impression on him.
Wait, so it's been out for 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
And he and you, I'm assuming, have seen it 4 times?
He's seen it 4 times. I've seen it twice.
Has he snuck out at night to go watch it by himself? Like,
he takes different family members.
Okay.
So he took his dad, he took his grandparents. Because I don't think I could see it that many times in a row in quick succession.
Yeah.
But this movie means a lot to me. When I left Miami in 2007 and I moved up here to go to college and start my life, like, this was the song, like, Defying Gravity, and the soundtrack.
Were you Alphaba?
It was playing on my MySpace, and that was like the song of my liberation and coming up here and starting my life and all of that jazz. So Defying Gravity means a lot to me, and I think they did just such an amazing job. Am I Elphaba, you asked?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. If I'm going to identify with anyone in this movie, it's going to be Elphaba. What have you seen Wicked, or?
No, I'm fully aware of it.
Yeah.
Its existence, its renowned, stature in Broadway history and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I know all the players. I learned about Cynthia Erivo because of this, but I haven't watched it, heard it, really listened to any music. But I respect it that people love it.
Yeah.
I have to ask this though: were people singing in your theater?
Okay, there were little bits of people singing.
And how hard did you punch them?
Well, my son started singing on the second time I took it.
How hard did you punch your son?
I did hit him. I punched him in the face. No, I'm just like, buddy, shut up. I did not punch my child. For the record, it's a joke, people.
Right.
It's a joke.
Right. For those listening, right.
Yeah.
Who can't see me winking.
But when we went that time, there weren't as many people in the theater, and we were like in the back, so it's not like it was super disturbing people, but I'm like, buddy, no, don't do it. Don't do it. I have 2 quick stories about Wicked.
Please.
All right. I've read the book. I've seen the play. My husband and I, when we first started dating, he took me to go see Wicked. It was one of our first dates.
Is that the infamous one?
Yeah. So in the middle of the play, one of the most dramatic moments of the entire play, it's quiet. My phone started going off. So I jumped into my bag to turn off the phone, and I hit my key alarm.
God.
I had this little alarm on my key chain that, you hit it, like if somebody's attacking you in the middle of the night, sends out this
or if somebody wants to interrupt
like,
an amazing play.
And I hit that by accident. My nail got stuck on it, broke off. My nail broke off in the keychain. It got stuck going, in the middle of the most dramatic part of the play, right? People spend hundreds of dollars to go see these things. I'm freaking out. I'm trying to fix it. The actors are getting distracted. The people around me hate me.
Yeah.
Finally, I pull it out, and I get it to stop, and I'm like crying on my brand new boyfriend's shoulder.
Yeah.
And like the people around me are like, shh, like, shut it up,
How hard did they punch you?
God, they wanted to kill me. And then after that, my husband did not leave me. Like, my boyfriend continued to be my boyfriend. That's how I knew he was the real deal. And then I ended up marrying him. So another reason why Wicked is a big part of my life, in general. But this is a great film. I think they did it a lot of justice.
You said you had a second story?
Yeah, I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
Just as I'm talking here. But that's why, I'm just really happy that they did this so very... Oh, the other story. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it just as cringy?
No, but it's about the movie itself.
Okay.
It's about the movie itself.
Okay.
As good as this movie is, do you know the drama that happened behind the scenes on this?
Yeah, and I was going to bring up a little bit about this too.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's chismear.
Yeah.
Let's bring up some chisme.
Cynthia Erivo.
That's not the chisme I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about
Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande's chisme.
Okay, what's yours?
How she met her current boo.
Oh, yeah.
On the movie, the guy who plays the Munchkin Bach.
Yeah. Isn't he SpongeBob in a Broadway play?
He is the guy who plays SpongeBob on Broadway.
Yeah.
They ended up hooking up on this movie. He was married. His wife had just had a baby.
Crazy.
She was married. They ended up hooking up with each other on the set of this movie, divorcing their spouses and getting together.
Wow.
She picked the Munchkin over freaking Fierro. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And so even my son knows about it. He's like, oh my God, that's the guy. That's the
How does your
homewrecker.
son know about it? You told him?
Yeah. He's like, Mommy, why are you so mad at Ariana Grande?
Why can't you control your emotions? Oh, geez.
He's got to know what not to do.
Oh, goodness.
But what's the Cynthia Erivo that you were talking about?
There's two little things. One that's not as serious, but one, Cynthia, you know the iconic Broadway poster of Wicked where it has like Elphaba. Her eyes are covered by her hat. And the Good Wish, what's her name? Galinda. Mm-hmm. Is that her name? Galinda?
Yeah, yep.
All right. Galinda.
Good job.
She's like whispering into her ear. Well, a fan made a fan edit of the movie version of it because they made a similar poster, but you can see, Cynthia's eyes and Ariana's hand is a little different placement, but they edited it to make it look like the Broadway one. And it's a fan of the product, of the IP, just did this, posted it. And it went viral because people liked it. Mm-hmm. Nothing major, professional, but something fun. Cynthia, she saw this, and then she was so offended by it. You heard about this? She was so offended by it. She said this was one of the most disrespectful things that I've ever seen. Like, there's a lot of things to see in this world, and this is the most disrespectful, disgusting thing. And so she made this big post about, and I get it, there's been other stuff, not only this poster, but other things that may have been a little meaner or what have you, but she used this one as an example of like, oh, this has gone too far. I am the one who's staring down the barrel of a camera. You see my eyes, and now you take away my eyes, and now you don't see me. It's yada, yada, yada.
It's a weird hill to die on.
It's a very weird hill to die on, and apparently she did apologize or just say, maybe I overreacted. Like, you think?
Yeah.
You think you little overreacted? So there's that little thing. That doesn't really bother me. What does bother me, Jamie?
Oh, boy.
Look, I'm repositioning in my chair.
Oh, God.
Somebody asked Cynthia, so Cynthia, you've heard that people have been singing in the movie theater, singing all the songs, and people are divided. People say, it's okay to sing because it's a grand experience and you love it, so you know all the songs, and so join along. You have other people saying, no, I paid this movie to watch the professionals on screen sing. I did not come here to listen to a 15-year-old, 30-year-old, 50-year-old person who thinks they can sing the songs. Yeah. I didn't pay for that. I paid for them. Cynthia was asked about this. They said, Cynthia, where do you stand? What is your opinion? Knowing that in a month there will be a sing-along thing on the screen for people who want to do sing. Yeah. Knowing that, Cynthia, what do you think? Cynthia goes, I'm going to try to do her British accent.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know what you should do? This is my British accent. This is my British accent. You know what you ought to do, you're right? You should be able to sing in the first time you see Wicked. Sing the first time you see it, and then the second time you see Wicked, don't sing. What?
What? Okay.
If you do encourage people to sing, flip it. The first time you watch Wicked, what you're upset about?
Yes. You just think the order is wrong?
Well, one, I think it's wrong that she says you should be able to sing. But if you do make that little compromise, the first time you watch it, which is the majority of when other people are going to be watching it for the first time too, don't sing. And then maybe in a month or two or whatever down the road, then you have the diehards who see it again for the second or third time. Then whatever. If you can't contain that ego of yours and you have to belt it out, then that's when you do it. You don't do it the first time you watch a movie. So, don't sing.
Why are you so passionate about that?
Because I am very passionate about people interrupting the movie theater experience. I did not pay to have somebody in 5B over here singing over the really good audio. I paid for the professionals.
You paid for that Dolby surround sound.
I pay for that Dolby surround sound, and I don't pay for the commentary of the person being like, oh, no, this is what actually is happening over here. Like, no, I don't care what you think, brother. Sister, I don't care. I used to do that too. Or that wouldn't really happen in real life. Of course it wouldn't happen in real life because it's a movie. You don't need to know that you know this.
It's okay.
No.
It's all right.
No.
You're not actually fighting anyone right now. It's okay.
No.
Bring it down.
I'm in my fight or flight mode, and right now I feel like fighting. Yeah. So, Cynthia, don't encourage people to sing in the movie theater.
Or James is coming for you.
Also, I'm coming after you, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Somebody asked Dwayne, hey, should you be able to sing in movie theaters? Dwayne says, yeah, sing. You paid your ticket. You should be able to sing in the movie theater. Again, people paid a ticket to watch the movie and watch the singer sing, not some jerk in 5B sing.
You should just show up at his house and sing out his window. Be outside his window singing all day long.
No, because I'll be taken away as a peasant as I am compared to The Rock. So,
exactly.
There.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Sing, no sing, sing first time, sing second time.
Never sing?
Never sing.
Stop breathing?
Oh my God. James hates people, so
did I mention I hate people?
Just watch out. Yeah, right.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know what?
You know what else James hates?
You know what else I hate?
Gladiator 2.
I don't hate Gladiator 2. I'm very indifferent by Gladiator 2. And I went in with expectations low. I was not expecting to be overwhelmed. I was kind of expecting to be a little underwhelmed or whelmed at the least, but just whelmed. So I'm kind of indifferent for Gladiator 2 because I wasn't really looking forward to this. It's a great cast. Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal, a lot of Mescals in there, I just realized. Denzel Washington, who I love Denzel. He's one of my favorite actors. Another Ridley Scott film. I was looking forward to this if they had a really good story and really, good direction to further the original Gladiator movie. That's a classic.
Cinema legend.
It was just underwhelming. There are a lot of things that there are many directions they could have gone, and they chose not to go in that direction and play it safe. So I will say this movie is entertaining enough to watch it, but I wouldn't recommend going to watch it unless you want to stream it. What's your initial thoughts on Gladiator 2?
I was entertained.
Are you not entertained?
Exactly. But I think that it left a lot to be wanted. But as a matter of fact, James, you know what? I have a review ready for you.
Please.
You ever watch SNL?
I do.
You know that dude that's what's hot on the streets in New York City? Stefan. So I have a little Stefan review here for Gladiator 2 that I hope that you all might enjoy. But it covers everything.
Excellent.
Okay, are you ready?
Ready.
All right, here we go. All right. The hottest thing on the streets right now, James, is movie sequels, right? If you are into disappointing rehashes of legendary films, then strap up your golden sandals for Gladiator 2. This film offers the exact same storyline, zero character development, but tons of plot. If your idea of plot is chiseled chesticles and CGI sharks swimming in the Coliseum that look like they belong in Sharknado, then this, you are in for a treat. It has everything, James. A down-on-his-luck Nepo baby with a dead wife and plenty of plot armor. Returning characters who make the same mistakes they made in the last movie. A power-hungry gladiator master who makes cliché movie villain choices. A tiny monkey with more power and sense than the entire Roman Senate. And twins. Lost Prince Lucius is sold into bondage and makes his way back to Rome, where he yells at his mommy for misplacing him. But don't forget the best part, James. After a little misunderstanding, Lucius is dead set on slaying his stepzaddy, Pedro Pascal, not stepzaddy.
No.
Come on. Pedro is generous. Pedro plays General Marcus Arcadius, a Maximus Light character who sinks his entire plan to overthrow the mad emperors because his lady asks him to, and he's a gentleman. Pedro deserved much better than this. Lucius fights for the dream of Rome with inspirational speeches and extreme plot conveniences. Who needs substance when you have style? And the actors are pretty. Right? Those little gladiator skirts. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
The attire skirt.
Yeah, exactly. You will leave this movie asking, am I not entertained? Wait, I'm not entertained. Like, what? Why am I not entertained?
Yeah.
The end.
The end. Yay! Excellent. That's a really, really good summary, and I share very similar thoughts and opinions on that. So that was fantastic. Let's start with the fights. The fights. Mm-hmm. At the top of my head, if you ask me to count some of the top memorable fights in Gladiator, I can do that. 1, 2, 3. Like, there are iconic scenes, moments in that film. The fights in this one, though they're elevated, like, for example, they fill the Colosseum with water. And there's sharks and boats and ships and arrows and whatever. Very underwhelming. It's like that fight lasted less than 5. Spoilers. This fight lasted less than 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like it's a big buildup. You have these ships, and they're in the water. They're recreating this iconic, water sea battle. Mm-hmm. And then like you have like these archers who are like 10 feet away, like launching arrow after arrow. You have like 10 archers like just pelting this boat, and then like 3 people get hit, and Paul Mescal doesn't get hit at all. Mm-hmm. And then they crash with such force and brutality, like with boats that are going so slow. And then you have like these sharks, as you mentioned, are CG. It all happens so quick. Yeah. And like, okay, so that was underwhelming. They had a scene with a rhino. The CGI rhino didn't look too bad. Didn't look bad, whatever. And like, okay, it's a cool introduction. They had all these wild animals in the real Colosseum. And it's all over in like 2 minutes again.
Yeah.
All these fights are very underwhelming. It's just like so many things that were hyped up to be like on the scale of Gladiator, the first one, just fell flat. I was not entertained by the fights.
And I feel like part of it too is that nothing's going to happen to the main character. Yeah. Like, there are no stakes.
Yeah.
That you can tell that this movie is going by the numbers, and this guy is going to live until the end. And there just doesn't seem to be as much drama there. There's no tension. Yeah. Right? So I don't know. There's just you're not as emotionally invested in what's happening here, what's happening to the character. Whereas the first time around, you're like, this dude's going to die. And all of the political machinations and everything that was going back in the background, like, it was so much more compelling the first time around than the second time around, because it is a literal rehash.
With the Lucius character, Paul Mescal's character, I thought he was miscast. I thought he did well with the physical fights. He did well for what it was, but again, the fights were underwhelming, but he did the most with it. But his character, like, and this has been said by other people too, is that like you're supposed to believe this guy who lost his wife in battle at the hands of at the orders of Pedro Pascal. You think, okay, he's filled with rage, and people keep telling him, you are filled with rage. Oh, you have so much rage in you. Yeah. And he expresses zero rage. One time when he screams, at a baboon, but like anybody would do that in front of a baboon. So other than that, he has so much rage, but he's just like, so stoic, so casual, so nothing. And so, and I think he's a good actor, but he just doesn't express that emotion that people keep telling him that he has. So, yeah, I think he was miscast. What do you think about that?
I think you're absolutely right. It's an example of show don't tell. My only rebuttal is, but he's pretty.
He's a pretty boy. He's a pretty boy, and he looks great in a skirt. But that doesn't do well. I think Pedro Pascal also looks great, if not greater, in a skirt.
Especially when he twirls.
Especially when he twirls those little tassels. Yeah. But Pedro Pascal, I think this should have been his movie. This should have been his movie because this is a guy who, similar to, as you mentioned, like a Maximus Light, a Gladiator Light version, like this is a general who, unlike Maximus in the first movie, where he refused to follow the orders of the next evil emperor of Joaquin Phoenix, this general, Pedro Pascal, he did, and with the twins, and he does their bidding, and he goes to war, and he conquers for them, and then he too he's tired, like I don't want to do this. He wants to escape and be with his family or make a new life for himself. This should have been his story. They should have gone more deeper into that. It would have been very interesting if they had gone and followed through with like his plot to kill the emperors, but then they get ambushed in like the jail cell. The same exact thing happened in the first movie, where you had like Maximus's people. They were gonna, under the cover of darkness, free him or whatever, have this takeover. But someone snitched, and then they get all taken out by arrows, and then all you have is Maximus. So they did the exact same thing, where this plot to topple the emperor was squashed. If they had followed that plot, however, have been like, okay, Pedro Pascal is going to lead this small army against the emperor's other army inside, that would have been great. And then maybe you had Pedro Pascal's character and Mescal's character were in the Colosseum, and they're forced to battle, but then they something happens, and then the army they rush in, they break in, and then they start fighting. Then you have this big epic fight in the Colosseum. That would have been so much more entertaining and satisfying.
James is available for hire.
Thank you.
For screenwriting.
Thank you.
I agree with you 100%. This should have been Pedro Pascal's movie. I think it would have been even more dramatic if Lucius, instead of being like this very prominent character that we follow along, like if he was sort of in the background and we're like, does he exist? Is he really alive?
Yeah,
and
the real emperor.
The real emperor. Like, we found the real emperor, and you don't know if he's going to live. You don't know if he's going to die. Not necessarily that he's a gladiator or anything, because we're more focused on Pedro. But like, if he was sort of that saving grace in the background, that he's fighting to protect and save and bring to reunite the nation and topple the twin emperors, like that would have been a much more satisfying, different, interesting movie. For sure. So I'm 100% on board with you there. I feel like maybe Denzel kind of pulled some strings because he wanted like a bigger role. He wanted to topple the emperors or whatever.
I would.
They wrote him a bigger part.
If it was another big character or a big actor, I may agree with that theory. But I believe Denzel is such a team player. Like I don't want to believe that Denzel would pull some weight to like be like the star, because I think he's having a lot of fun in this film. He's one of the highlights of this film.
Yeah, he was great.
I think his plotting and his climbing up the social ladder, the power ladder, I think that was very good, and that was another direction that they could have gone in that they didn't utilize well enough. And his like ultimate demise at the end, like him,
it was silly.
Yeah, like the 60-year-old like old man technically is fighting against this 30-something hard-fought gladiator. It's like this was your main goal, your best idea.
After he had already gotten everything he ever wanted, all he had to do was sit back in the castle and let everybody kill themselves, and he had all of the power. Why would he rush to the front line? And like do single combat? It makes no sense.
No,
so contrived.
So that wasn't good. Also, the part where and there's so many things that happened because it had to happen, or like we mentioned before, it was convenience. Like, oh, that was convenient that happened, or that was convenient that happened. The first thing that kind of like started rubbing me the wrong way was when Lucius he's been enslaved by now. Denzel says you're gonna be my gladiator, and they could have had that discussion of like, I'm gonna get you. The goal was to get him to fight Pedro Pascal because he wanted his revenge on Pascal. But again, why was Pascal there? Because the emperors ordered his army to be there. And so yeah, I get it. Oh, you ordered your man to shoot my wife, and now she's dead. I'm gonna kill you. That's very short-sighted of Mescal's character, because in that scene where he is fighting this other gladiator in front of the emperors in that dining hall or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Mescal kills the guy and he has the sword. And Joseph Quinn, one of the emperors, who does, he does a good job. He comes strutting up to Mescal. He's like, oh, my good man.
Stab that guy.
Like you had the perfect opportunity to kill at least one of, maybe two, but at least one of those emperors. That was infuriating. Like, I get you want to get the guy who ordered your wife to be killed, but why not kill the guy who ordered that guy who ordered that thing that happened? Why you were right there? And what did he do? He tossed the sword down.
So interesting if he had done that.
That would have been a quick, a scream moment where you think Drew Barrymore is the main character, but then she gets killed immediately.
Yeah.
Then you're like, Joseph Quinn's going to be like the higher, stronger brother. He gets killed instantly, and now the crazier brother, he's the sole emperor in charge, and he's like, monkeys are in charge of everything now, and we're going to have you fight you, and I'm going to fight you. And that could have twisted everything into a much better, more interesting direction. But the moment where he dropped that sword and Joseph Quinn's like, oh, right, well, who are you? Okay, wow. That would have been so Interesting.
Yes.
And so that was so unbelievable.
Yeah.
And there's another part near the end where Denzel Washington's character, he's fleeing on horseback to the front lines for whatever.
Yeah,
and the thing is, you have, at this point, there's a whole riot. The people of Rome are fighting the government, and there's a big brawl in the street. However, there's a big brawl in the street, but there are enough soldiers to actively part ways of everybody keep this pathway clear in case, Denzel just flew by. Why are soldiers doing this when the whole place is actively burning to the ground? Why would you have random soldiers having a path cleared and then Denzel, because Denzel didn't say, hey, clear the path. He just left.
It's easier to shoot that way.
Yeah. And also another thing with the soldiers, there are several times during the fights when the fight ended and Mescal's looking at the emperor or whatever, or people are upset that Mescal is going to be whatever. The guards that are standing in the stands all of a sudden point their arrows towards the crowd. No one's rushing towards the gladiators. No one's rushing or attacking. I think they did that
They're
to
just
make
booing.
Yeah, I think they did that just to have the people are upset with the government or upset with the guards and the emperor, and so if you had shot a scene where people were jumping into the pit and helping Mescal's character or were actively trying to there are just so many things that doesn't make sense.
You can't look too deep. It's just supposed to be a blockbuster, but if you think about it too hard,
Gladiator was supposed to just be a blockbuster, but it turned out to be a blockbuster and an iconic masterpiece.
Yeah.
So that was weird. Yeah.
The
whatever.
other thing is just historically, wasn't the military not allowed in Rome? Even the commanders weren't allowed to step foot in Rome.
I don't know about that. And to be fair, I'm not worried about the historic inconsistencies. Ridley Scott is notorious for not caring of how actual history happened, because he did the Napoleon movie, right? And then he got a lot of crap from the French government. They're like, that's not how any of this happened. And then Ridley Scott was like, F you.
It's a movie.
F you, it's a movie. And so Ridley Scott doesn't care about historical inaccuracies. So the sharks being there, even though they look bad, I don't judge him for putting him in there. He could have used them better, but if the sharks were used better, then I would have been like, okay, that's cool. I'm okay with some leniency. Or the guy riding the rhino. There were rhinos and other animals that were historically in the pit. Nobody ever rode a rhino, because have you ever tried riding a rhino? It doesn't happen. But in this movie, it did happen. So that I didn't mind. But it's just so that didn't really bother me. That's historical inaccuracies.
One of my favorite lines of the episode so far. Have you ever ridden a rhino?
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't work. Anyways, in conclusion, do you recommend Gladiator 2?
If you want to watch a Gladiator-esque, a Troy-esque, a fill in the blank, Roman movie-esque movie, I think it's entertaining enough.
Okay. And I think you should go just to see Stepzaddy Pedro Pascal.
He was done dirty.
He deserved, like you said, that movie should have been about him. He was done dirty. He deserved so much more.
So much more.
What's that from?
That was Little Mermaid.
Oh.
I want to be where the
people.
gladiators are.
Oh,
I want to see them stabbing, running around in those, what do you call them? Sandals.
Yay!
Yay! There we go. Well, Jamie.
The next Lin-Manuel Miranda, everyone.
Thank you. Please give me my money now. Thank you so much for watching us here on the Hub on Hollywood. We will get to Cinequote, but in a second. But first, if you are not already, please subscribe, follow, like, join the Hub Army so we can overrun the Roman Empire one day.
Yeah.
Also, listen to us on any of the major podcasting streaming services like iHeartRadio.
Spotify,
Apple Podcasts,
wherever you listen to your podcasts, we are there. We're also on YouTube, so you can see our beautiful faces there, and interact with us. So please share, like, subscribe, and we will keep doing what we do.
Yeah, join the conversation. What did you think about Gladiator 2? What do you think about Moana 2? What did you think about Wicked Part 1 of 2? What did you think about all this stuff? And who's your favorite movie star of the year? Who deserves to be on that list?
Exactly.
But you know what else deserves to be on this list of things that we talk about on the Hub on Hollywood, Jamie?
What?
Cinequote.
Woo! Our victories.
All right, so we've did we win the last one? Yeah, we won the last one. So we are on a 4-win streak.
Oh, I didn't know it kept track like that.
It does. Look at that.
I'm
Isn't
not
that
smart.
fancy? Yeah, we have an 80% win rate.
Wow.
With an average of 2.9 guesses per game.
Okay, then.
Look at that.
All right. Let's see what we got going on this week. We're playing
today's game is 723.
All right.
If you want to play along with us. So,
and away we go.
I'm going to do quote number 1 in 3, 2, 1.
Trim every blessed window and trim every blessed door.
All right. We're going musical.
All right.
I don't know what this is
I don't know what this is either. Is it Wicked?
No. Definitely not Wicked.
Okay.
You would like Wicked. You got to get on that train.
I need to find the time to do it. I wasn't interested in it. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it to be good, let alone great, apparently.
Yeah,
so I think I do have to carve out some time to watch
Follow
Wicked.
the Yellow Brick Road, bro.
To the local AMC, which I hope is clean and fully stocked of nuggets.
God.
Quote number 2.
Wonder how long it'll take to get rid of the rats in mine.
Goodness.
Let's see.
3, 2, 1.
There's a light on this tree.
I know what it is.
Light on one side.
It sounds like a Dr. Seuss.
It is. It's not the Nightmare Before Christmas. The Grinch.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, I think. The old version.
If I can spell.
1966.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas in 3, 2, 1. Yay!
The Christmas came through, and the Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches, plus 2.
Yay!
A great movie to watch this time of year, too.
We are on a 5-game win streak. All right. And you're on a win streak, too, because you're watching, listening to us. Thank you so much for joining us on the Hub on Hollywood. We will be back presumably next week. Actually, I'm going to be going away for Christmas. I won't say when or where for security purposes, but we will have a little break in between this Christmas period. But in theory, I should be back next week.
When we return. We're looking for those 100 new subscribers.
Yeah. Stay subscribed, hit that bell, so when we do upload, you will get notified when we are back.
Exactly, and so that you can check out the cool videos that we post on social media.
Yeah.
We have reels and things that we put extra content, so you don't want to miss any of that on the gram. Or anywhere else that we are on the social medias.
Absolutely. Well, until next time, I am James.
I am Jamie. We'll see ya.
Bye. That's my Grinch dance.
That's your Grinch dance.